Welcome back. It's episode 168 of the Bears' latest podcast. I'm your host, Colton St. Vincent. Underdog is sponsoring this video. Thank you to Underdog. Grab your phone, give it a scan. You are going to scan this here QR code. Hear a little thunder in the background. That's crazy. While your Underdog app downloads, let's talk Bears football. All right, Ben Johnson spoke at the NFL coaches meeting. There was a NFC coaches breakfast, and he had a little 30-minute session with the media. Courtney R. Cronin on Twitter. That is the best Bears follow on Twitter. She had a tweet just completely recapping everything he said, which is lovely. So, number one, we got a ton of stuff to unpack here. This is going to be a Ben Johnson unpacking episode. All right. Ben Johnson said he found out about Drew Dahlman and his decision to retire mid-February, and the team quickly pivoted to Garrett Bradbury, who they believe, quote, will fit us like a glove. So that's cool. That's kind of nice to, I guess what else are you going to say? But it's nice to hear that from your coach. Now, here's the next one that's kind of a bummer. Ozzie Trapillo. When talking about Ozzie, this is what Ben Johnson had to say. There's a lot of uncertainty there. Said he's not sure the Bears will have Ozzie Trapillo during the 2026 season after Trapillo suffered a pretty serious injury, quote from Ben Johnson, with his ruptured patellar tendon. Ben Johnson said it's hard to say whether the Bears left tackle position what the Bears left tackle position will look like next year or in 5 years. Interesting, right? Again, you don't have to say these things, but people are going to ask you, and you can say no comment. You can move on, but this is what he says, right? I personally think Trapillo should sit the rest of the whole season. 2026 season, I'm sorry, Ozzie, just take care of that, because I read some study. It was someone smarter than me did it. And it said it was like a Pro Football Focus analytical type study. And it said there was like, let's just say 80-something patellar tendon tears since they started tracking this. And there's only like 4% of those guys went back after their injury same or more explosive than before. That sucks. It's very, very low percent. So it's an injury you don't really want to risk really pushing the limit, because that's like a career ender, it sounds like. However, Ben Johnson does say Braxton Jones is up to 310 pounds and, quote, looks yoked, unquote. When Johnson saw him to come in and sign his contract during free agency, he said Jones is eager to get his career trajectory back on track. That's kind of cool. That's really nice to hear. Ben Johnson also says that Johnson and the Bears staff recently turned on the tape from Family Fest at Soldier Field, which was last season, when they were super sloppy and had a bunch of delayed game penalties, to see where they were starting camp last season and how much further they want to be ahead this season. Sounds like we're learning. How about that, huh? When's the last time we actually heard about that here in Chicago? And he does say that a couple things. Press Taylor, new OC. He was formerly the passing game coordinator, is the, quote, most organized coach I've ever been around, per Johnson. Noted his library of plays for how he beat different defenses and how he organizes information as a benefit to Johnson and Taylor's new role. Ben Johnson also says that he will be hyper vigilant of any complacency. He said he loved hearing from fans and supporters for about a week last year about their exciting 2025 season. Doesn't want to hear anymore because they have moved on to 2026. That's what I like to hear, Ben Johnson. These are all the right things to say, right? What else you really expecting to say from someone who's competent? It's just cool because we normally don't get people who are competent. So, hand up. Very, very excited from these absolute, like, kind of nothing type answers. But he did also say this just shows it's not all freaking mind your P's and Q's. because he also says he is not happy with the offensive staff for how they didn't coach wide receivers to get open enough. Emphasized getting back to fundamentals and OTAs on catching the ball to address drop issues. Rome, we're looking at you. Rome. Dude dropped like crazy in the second half last year. So he's going to have a year under Ben Johnson, really. It seems like if Ben Johnson's going to publicly say you're focusing on something in practice, you're going to be hyper-focused on it in practice. Now, what's something that I am hyper-focused on in this crazy, crazy world of ours? Underdog fantasy. That's right. That is right. Underdog is what we do. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, block parties, they're back. Underdog is the best place to get in on all of the action. Playing on Underdog, it's easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. If you get your picks right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Download the app today. Use promo code FOOTBALLFAN to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code FOOTBALLFAN. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8 or text HOMI 467-369.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, Underdog, for sponsoring this video. Couple last things here from Ben Johnson, just to update you guys. He talked about how he wants to start over with players like Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon because of their injuries last season. So he feel like he didn't really get the bond that he was looking for from these guys. I doubt that they're like standoffish, but when you're rehabbing, you're not in front of the head coach, to be honest. You are with a lot of trainers. You are with a lot of, sometimes it's your own team. A guy like Jalen Johnson, I'm sure, has a team that he'd rather be around. So he did come back and play. Jalen Johnson did have a 58.7 overall score. Very middle of the road. 71st of 114 qualified corners. And played 113th most snaps. So down year, man. Down year, injuries didn't help. Kyler Gordon didn't even have enough snaps to qualify for a ranking, but 59.2 in the games that he did play. So Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson both still 26 right now as a time of this recording, unless March 31st is their birthday. But however, I doubt it is because that'd be insane. How about that? So Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, two guys that, I mean, they are still awesome. It's not like I forgot that they're awesome, but it's two guys that I just didn't think about for a very long time last year, for long stretches of my life. And I'm getting old, so I'm going to forget some stuff. So final thing from Ben Johnson for the day was his fluff up of Luther Burden. Ben Johnson on Luther Burden. Quote, Luther is exactly what we thought we were getting in the draft last year. This guy loves football. If you took football away from him, I don't know what he would want to do with himself, unquote. So, and then he also adds that he has been seeing Luther Burden and Colson Loveland at the Chicago facility in the weight room getting jacked. So I've said it a couple times. I am going to buy into everything he says because this is all nonsense. There's really not much else you would say for a guy in his position, but I'm going to eat it up. Thank you, Ben Johnson. I love you. And then one final little funny little jab here was Caleb and Ben Johnson are buddies still. On Caleb's Instagram story, screenshotted, zoomed in on Ben Johnson in his head coach's photo and says, say cheese. 2 laughing emojis. They are best pals. So unbelievable time to be a Bears fan. I can't, in my lifetime, this has not happened. Enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed episode 168 of the Bears' latest podcast. Colton St. Vincent. I'm your host. Underdog. They're your sponsor. Everything is here. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. They're yours. I love you guys. Catch you guys tomorrow.